G'day there, legends. Calvin here to go through for you, your round 4 captains. Oh, look, I'm not happy. I'm so furious about what happened last week. Okay, Cal, take a deep breath, but I'm still not happy about it. I let everybody down, but the biggest person I let down is myself. So, let's address the issue. West Coast used a tagger last week, and this week they are up against Collingwood. If they do it again, who gets it? Jack Crisp? Does it go to Adams or does it go to Pendlebury? I don't think they will. I'm not worried about that one at all. The one I am worried about is the Lockie Ash / Debula tag. That will 100% go to Andy Brayshaw. So if you've got him, avoid him as captaincy at all costs. The other one I want you to keep an eye on is when teams drop. Geelong. I saw Fantasy Freako tweet this today and I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Freak. They may bring in Mark O'Connor, who is their #1 tagger, to shut down Lockie Neal. Now, they did that last year and he held Neal to 51. Now, Neal, as we know, coming off a little bit of an ankle, he's another guy that I would avoid. Let's get into the top captain picks. You can see my table there, but here are the boys and why you need to consider them. You can tell I'm still not very happy with myself. Jack Steele. He's hit 3 tons in a row, okay? We know the issues that he's had with his scoring, how he didn't do it in the first half, but hear me out, okay? He plays Hawthorn. That should be enough for you. Hawthorn at the moment, the #1 easiest team by a mile for midfielders to score against. So if you look at last week and the week before, so look at the top 4 scorers from the Port Adelaide game and then the top 4 scorers last week from the Carlton game, put them together, those guys averaged a massive 134. Surely Jack Steele is in the top 4 scorers for St Kilda and therefore he should have a massive, massive day out. #2 on my list is going to be Cripper, Paddy Cripps, playing against the Gold Coast Suns. Last week, Taranto 126, Green 114, Canelio 114. You would assume that Cripper's form alone means that he's going to have a big day there. #3, Petracca. Now that one is a Thursday night game. Great VC option. He's not getting tagged here. He got tagged last week, shut down for 83. That is not going to happen. Last time he played against Port was in Adelaide. It was last year a career high 153. Perfect VC option. In that game as well, I don't mind Max gone, just considering the fact that Riley O'Brien had 115 against Lycett last week. That should mean that he would be okay, you would imagine. Clayton Oliver in that game as well, talking vice captains, up against Port Adelaide, one of his worst teams to score against. Keep in mind that Port Adelaide last week, Crouch could only get to 95 and Rory Laird could only get to 90. I don't think it matters for Petracca though. Josh Dunkley's up there, he's in the #4, coming off 132 with his 11 tackles last week. He should have a massive day against them. The last time he played against the Tigers was back in 2009 and he had 145. His form alone gets him into the top 5. Then we look at guys like Touk Miller up against Carlton last year. Back-to-back 140 games. Roy reckons that Super Huey might spend a little bit of time with him. It's only going to happen around the stoppages though, and that's going to be the case because Touk just runs all day. So I would assume that Touk is going to be fine. Let's go through a couple other guys that I like as well. Ollie Wines, that Thursday game, another great vice-captain. He's actually averaging higher than what he did last year, which is amazing. If Jack Crisp does not get a tag from West Coast, I don't think he will ever, but if he can get clear, I reckon he has a big day. So last year against the Eagles, I remember they suck at the moment, he had a 125 and a 124. He's under the roof. A lot of clean ball for him. I think he's going to be wicked as well. My boy Gaff against Collingwood. They're one of his favourite teams to play against. A little smoky for you. James Short against the Bulldogs. Now, Bulldogs can give up a fair bit of points to defence. Short coming off a 118 and a 131. a 105 against the Dogs last year. And you've heard it here first. Jack Mcrae, you couldn't do it. If you wanted to wait that long for a VC, maybe you could. He's got unbelievable numbers at the MCG. Listen to this. A lower score of 109 in his last 11 and a career average of 120 across 15 games. That, and of course, not including finals. That is massive. The problem with him, 75, sooking on the wing is not a great idea. Who else we got? Timmy Taranto. He should be great against Freo. That is over in Optus. That is a Saturday night game. He is going at 119 this year. And then I also like Sam Walsh, who is building his score beautifully. I think he had a 90 or an 89 in his first game. He's coming off a 112. Last year against the Suns, he had a nice 108 as well. So you would assume, and Doherty, Roy's big trade target this week. He will have a big day against the Suns at Metricon, coming off his 138 13 marks. That's enough from me. I apologise for last week, and I'll guarantee it won't happen again.